There are several different ways to organize your data within the student data pages. For this particular demonstration, I'm going to use the student list view. Once you navigate to your school, if you are a district level user, or classroom if you're at the school level and analyzing data within a classroom, you can click the key beside any column and select the data that you want to view. One quick way to determine the number of kids that fall within a certain indicator, for this particular column, it's the early warning system overall risk indicator, would be to click on the selected indicator, which is on track for this particular example, and looking at the number of items, the total number of items that are listed within that filter. So for this example, there's 594 that fall in the on track range. If I click on the filter again, I can select all to know the total number of kids that are in that particular building or classroom. In this case, it's 1,379. So out of 1,379, 594 fall within that on-track range for the overall risk indicator. That's one way to filter your data to get to the number of kids that would fall within that indicator or hit that certain data area. The other way is to drag the column by clicking on it and hovering it to the top of the page and dropping it in the drag a column here to group by that column menu. When you do that, you see a count is given for each indicator or each data set in that column. For this example, we're looking at the early warning system overall risk indicator. You see then that the number of students or items that fall under each of the indicators are 594 for the overall risk, 444 for off track, and 341 for at risk. If you click on the arrow to the left of that particular indicator, the individual students will be listed. To reduce that student list, click the arrow again and it will collapse. If you wanted to then look at the number of students that fall within that indicator by grade level, you can click on an additional column, drag it to the top, and drop it to the right of the overall risk indicator. Then when you expand each of the lines by clicking on the arrow, you can view the breakdown for that particular indicator by, in this case, grade level. Any column in the row can be dragged and dropped to the top header to create a hierarchy of information that filters down and counts the individual items, or for this view, students that fall within that range. To clear the filters in the organization of the data, you can always click on the arrow to the right and reset student grid. This will take you back to the default view and remove all the filters and column groupings.